Hello, chat. I am here. Yeah, I don't feel great. I'm kind of like, it's kind of like a nausea type thing, you know. I'd be shitting and farting and all that shit, you know, for real, for real. So we'll see how I do and all that. Um, but yeah, what is the, I understand is like a, slow, thank you for the 5 gifted. What is with what is with all of these like union related jokes? What is happening in the community? Hello, hello. I'm doing worse today. So, Sasha, but thank you for asking. I don't know. I think, you know, usually it gets worse and then it gets better. So, I think I'll be better tomorrow. Um I was just feeling kind of, what's the word? I wasn't feeling useful. So, I figured I'd go live. But thank you, Slaw, for the 5 gifted. Very based of you. I should be drinking water, but I wanted to have some energy. Um, but yeah, there's that. So today, this evening, you giving us 30% of the content that you watch. uh, right. So let's talk about essence of thought. Right.
$2 from Cat was taken. The union voted, union workers get 30%
This
now.
union hasn't been officiated by the company. I don't recognize this, but thank you for the $2. But Ethel Thurston goes by Essence of Thought on YouTube. This hood is like a little itchy. It makes my ears itch. Right. Essence of Thought is this YouTube channel that does video essays, generally speaking, on well, if I had to classify it on anything, I'd say like LGBTQ and queer issues. Which is fine. I have no problem with the content that Ethel and her team produce, but Ethel herself is a little less than genuine, in my opinion. Ethel also produces content with her partner.
$9.99 from Rena. Thanks for coming into work sick. Anyway, ignore all the union talk. Nothing for you to worry about.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure Ethel is doing this with her partner, but let me double check. So give me like one moment to confirm that. I'm pretty certain for a few things. Yeah, so Ethel ain't gonna like me after this one. Shout out to Nani for doing a lot of the A-logging on this. Keep it up, for real, for real. This is really based. Essence of Thought sounds like a cut Yakuza fighting style that Majima is thinking about Kiryu. Okay. So, shit. The problem is, okay, Udita is the wife. Levi is doing YouTube with her. So I don't know if they still I don't know if they go by that still, right? I just don't wanna misgender them. Because that'll be brought up in the discourse, right? Because Ethel is aware of this. I'm sorry. You're gonna be like, Diesel, why are you moving so slow? Okay. So anyway, point of the matter here is, hold on. Let me click on this. Fuck, I'm gonna need to find a timestamp for this fucking stupid video again. Let me double check. Let me double check. I think she called them Levi and referred to them as a he at least once. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I'm almost certain that this is Ethel's partner. I'd love better confirmation. Just because I don't want to be an asshole. I mean, I'm going to be an asshole, but I don't need to be a bigot to be an asshole. Oh, I do want to give a shout out to little guy Kim as well. I saw Kim arguing with Ethel in the trenches today. That was super, super based. Hold on.
Authoritarian, obviously.
Okay. It's in review. Okay. And posted on IG they're dating. So it is Levi. So it is Levi. I was skeptical. I wasn't skeptical, right? I was pretty sure that the Levi individual, right, in the comments of Essence of Thoughts video was like a partner or had some kind of personal relationship. Dita, okay. Levi and Odita are two different people. Okay. All right. Thank you, Weaver of Dreams, who
Rachel
also
Oates,
is like
motherfucker.
a really well versed on this topic, by the way. I just wasn't sure because if you guys look at the channel banner, right, that does look like a drawing of Udita, right? But it says the current admins of it are Levi and Ethel. Anyway, with that being said, who is Ethel? Because there's been a lot of lore about Ethel. In particular, some of the stuff related to Ethel's past of basically looking and stalking, allegedly, Rachel Oates. And the basis of this is not really great. So basically, Essence of Thought has a lot of strong opinions on Rachel Oates, and the basis of it is that Rachel Oates feels that, or from what I recall reading, and I'm pulling it up now, is that Ethel was misgendered by Rachel, and as a result started stalking Rachel. Um, and it was like a mistake. There's actually a lot here. I know I responded in this thread. Oh wait, nope. I think it was in a newsroom. Thank you, Kim, for getting out there and arguing.
From Kimber Kimothy. You deserve everything, Goblin King. Feel better soon.
Okay, so oh. Yeah. I here's the thing. And let me just give a really broad strokes take here, and I don't think that this is a particularly mean one to say. If you're someone who has changed, you can't expect people like just I can't expect people to keep up with other business in my life, right? I can't expect you guys to like care for me if I don't say like, oh well, I'm sick, chat. Right? I inform you of that, right? If you change how you present, right? If you want me to not accidentally put my foot in my mouth, you need to tell me. Listen, I've changed my pronouns just so you know. I don't go by this name anymore. I go by this name and I have these pronouns. That's not wrong. You shouldn't expect people to just know magically. And you can't expect people to always have like some advanced knowledge of that, right? Like I literally just sat here and had a whole big fuck off like research look to try and figure out, oh, who's this person in reference? Because Ethel, I've seen Ethel's name given at birth. I don't know if that is the correct nomenclature, right? But I've seen it, and if I didn't know Ethel did, or I didn't keep up with Ethel, there's a possibility I wouldn't know that that was Ethel's chosen name that Ethel wishes to present as. Diesel, just so you know, I currently identify as a threat. You have been notified. Thank you. Let's see. There's a lot here. Dead name or birth name? Okay. But and even there was even a point and here's another thing. There was a point in Ethel's life where Ethel used both the name they now considered her dead name and her birth name because Ethel formally identified as non-binary and gender fluid, which, by the way, the time period when Rachel Oates would have misgendered Ethel would have been the same exact time that Ethel was identifying as gender fluid with two names. Okay? And I can prove that. And I can prove that because it was around 2018, 2019. Also commentary community coming in again with the lore dump on this. But I'm going to assume it was around 2018, 2019, right? Let's see. Hold on, I'm pulling up the screenshots now. Right? So that is the basis of, let me just control F Jessica Pizzle. Here we go. It's somewhere here. It is somewhere here. I was reading the tweet earlier. There we go. So this is from commentary community orbiter Jessica Pizzle. So this is Jessica's TLDR after, because Chris is looking into it too. We compared notes a little earlier, Chris and I. But TLDR in 2019, they got angry because Rachel Oates used he him pronouns and used the name Peter to refer to Ethel, essence of thought. But that was because Ethel used both names and their pronouns were she, they, he at the time. Ethel got mad because Rachel Oates was friends with the creator called Reactionary Rules, who Ethel thought was transphobic. Ethel started talking about Rachel the way Nicholas Diorio talks about Tipster. Rachel uploads a now deleted video of her crying about the harassment with blood on her arm. Ethel tweets more about Rachel being a pussy attention whore. Not exact words, obviously. Rachel disengaged entirely. Ethel has been making multiple videos on Rachel since, and once Ethel found out Rachel was friends with Vangelina Skov, Ethel accused Skov of plagiarism. The only thing I'm not 100% on of is the Rachel Ethel drama, but everything else is on point. So there's a lot that we're gonna have to get in here too, right? In assumedly Ethel's partner's article that was posted, Ethel is referred to with birth name and non-binary and gender fluid in 2018. Yes. Now this is in 2019, a year later, right? And the thing is, don't equate to malice what you can equate to idiocy in this opinion. I could imagine Rachel, yeah, and I'm not a particular Rachel fan either, but yeah, you can see it here, right? My non-binary partner and I were told our relationship would never work. Peter/Ethel is non-binary and gender fluid. We both identify as bisexual. That was enough to draw a lot of flack. It's not been the easiest journey for us, but not in the same way the naysayers had predicted. What the fuck? Wait a second. Wait, I thought this was a news article. Udita wrote it themselves. What? A little self-serving. Yeah, that was the Axis, that is. Rachel doesn't even do anything. She reviews books. Yeah, but you gotta understand that sometimes people just be haterade, They just be smoking on the haterade, and that's what's going on with Ethel. Yeah, they're all think pieces. Yeah, I don't fuck off with the think piece crap. Let's see. We'll go back. I think we should watch some of these Rachel Oates Essence of Thought videos. I think we should watch. All right. But the basis of this seems to be a misgendering allegation. Um, and apparently, let's see. What is happening? This is okay. Pause. This is like an entire other community I didn't realize had drama because this is like the book community drama. That's what's going on. The next video. Who the fuck is this? There's like a bunch of people that are in the thread that I've never heard of. I'm gonna. This is gonna be a really long night, isn't it? Oh shit.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It is absolutely
What what is so problematic about Rachel Oates? I don't understand. All right, like the Great Fundy crossover, Paula Morgan featuring Girl Defined. Like she's dogging on Girl Defined. Uh, like this just seems like girl commentary stuff, right? Like tea. Um, the bonus chap, like the book reviews. You know, just like book review crap. Like, what is the most offensive book in existence? What is so incredibly dramatic about Rachel Oates? I don't understand. Is there really like nothing here? Like, because I was expecting to come to this channel and see like a Melanie Mack or like a quartering type character, but there's just nothing there at like a tertiary glance. Rachel Oates reviews books, poetry, does literary criticism, and talks feminism, which is why accusing her of supporting benevolent patriarchy is so weird. Well, okay, here's one of the weird things that we grabbed in the server. And I'll pull these up. Ethel makes a really outrageous comparison about Rachel Oates. Okay, so TLDR Woodford, a YouTuber, made a book talking about trans people in sports. Ethel said it was transphobic. Rachel said that she herself should also be put on a block list like others. That she had been put on a block list. Hence, she is transphobic, according to Ethel. Okay. So, Ethel said it was transphobic. Rachel said that Ethel should also be put on a block list like others. So Rachel accused Ethel of just being a dick. And so Ethel started stalking Rachel. Strange Aeons, I would count as a book channel, yes. Okay, here we go. So here's what I mean by this: these comparisons are like really loony and like really uncomfortably weird. Trigger warning, telling people they should be dead, transmedia abusive content creators. Sorry, guys. My trigger is abusive content creators. Okay, the only offensive thing Rachel did, according to Essence, is that she was friends with rationality rules. This is insane. Okay, this is like in a complete other realm of drama. Okay, that we're breaking into today. Well, first of all, guilt by association is cringe, Ethel, and we don't support it. I'm friends with people that I disagree with on tons of things. I'm friendly as well with people that I really don't like at all. Okay. Like the guilt by association stuff is really ridiculous. Like Ethel, do you realize that I could accuse you of many things? What are your thoughts on Ethel calling VangelinaSkov Illuminati 2.0? It's cope and stupid and cringe and based on her personal beliefs and feelings of somebody else she has a previous beef with. Anyway, let me just read this. Yeah, you're going to have to wait for an update showing how Skov has used the same gotcha against trans people. As a person responsible for 21 bomb threats to various institutions across the U.S., including Children's Hospital. I was stimming the fuck out after being shown that yesterday. So I spent a long time kind of like mulling over what the fuck this meant. And I sent it to the news team. And basically, yeah, what she's doing here is accusing Skov of having similar talking points to somebody who has committed terrorism. Which like so TLDR, Rachel Oates supports Woodford. Woodford apologized and updated the video and donated the proceeds to charity. Ethel was mad that Woodford didn't credit her for the apology and donation demonetization he did. Okay, thank you. So Ethel is saying that Skov is like this domestic terrorist because because she made points that were similar to a domestic terrorist. Rationality Rules was the one that said women shouldn't be in sports. Rachel, Rationality, and another person hosted a debate, and it's been a shit show ever since. Okay. Okay. So she's mad at that too. You didn't tell everyone it was my idea. Okay, so she just wants the kudos for everything, it sounds like. Like, it just sounds like she wants, like, pats on the back for every fucking opinion that could possibly be had about anything.
$10 from Axis 1247. You know, if anything, Ethel is Illuminati 2.0, as she has accused someone of plagiarism for using easy to find benign screenshots like Blair did with Legal Eagles edit.
That's a great point, honestly. Oh my god. Okay, so interesting. You know what's interesting? Oh, Wikitubia. All right, here we got a good one. I hope I'm not being rude, but Ethel seems to go through a person of interest where she'll make multiple videos on a person for a short time, other than Rachel. That's just been ongoing. So here's something that's interesting. Wikitubia has many pages about YouTubers, but some YouTubers request for their pages to be removed and made unable to be recreated, while some pages were removed for violating fandom's terms of service. And if you look who either that broke the terms of service, or more than likely, let's be real here, Essence of Thought probably asked for it to be taken down. But this is xanderhal, who's also from Twitch Poll. And I know we're getting into like Twitch Poll drama, but let's just get a TLDR on the Essence of Thought Xanderhal controversy. Okay, Ethel is crazy. There we go. That's my opinion. Sorry, I guess I'm ableist. Ethel's crazy. I don't call me whatever you want, Ethel, but you need to get a job, a real job. All right. Following the drama relating to ContraPoints, Xanderhal responded to a video by YouTuber Essence of Thought on the 14th of January 2020 called Essence of Thought's Bad Faith Criticisms of ContraPoints. Jesus Christ. Okay, guys. So there's an archive of it on the way back machine, but the 2022 archives onward started redirecting to that banned page. If anybody wants to drop the Wayback Machine archive page in the thread, I am very happy to read that as well. Essence of Thoughts, Bad Faith Criticisms of ContraPoints. That's crazy to get into an argument with ContraPoints. Say what you will about BreadTube. That's probably one person you don't want to get in a beef with. Daydream, thank you for becoming a big dog king. Throughout the video, Xanderhal responded to Essence of Thought's criticisms of ContraPoints, taking particular issue with the fact they did not watch ContraPoints' full video before making the video and feeling that their criticisms were bad faith. I mean, it's the same thing now where it's still bad faith. Xanderhal later said that he felt the stream wasn't some of his best work and he didn't articulate himself well. However, he said that he stands by everything he said in the video. Okay. This resulted in Essence of Thought responding to Xanderhal, and this led Xanderhal's Twitter being banned, as it was mass reported by fans and supporters of Essence of Thought. At the time, Xanderhal was still going by Pig Puncher. But after this, he decided to go through with a rebrand he had been planning on for a while, and he renamed his channel to Xanderhal, named after his character from a D&D stream with Vosh, Connor, Cyber Witch Lexi, and White Nervosa. Oh my god, I'm going... Guys, this is like a... I have such like a cuckoo banana opinion of all of these people, but I'm just gonna keep it real copacetic right now. Yeah, the mass flagging stuff is really cringe. In response to Essence of Thought has continued to target Xanderhal, included doing a live stream attempting to criticize him and referring to him as Piggy. Okay. Okay. In response to a dead naming joke controversy, Essence of Thought stream was generally well received by the fans, who have also been noted for trying to get Xanderhal's new account banned through methods such as tagging Xanderhal's Twitter and calling him Pig Puncher or Piggy. Okay. Xanderhal has offered to debate or talk to Essence of Thought several times. However, Essence of Thought has refused to do so several times. Xanderhal has given up attempting to get in touch with them, though has said if they wish to approach him, he would be willing to speak to them. Okay. Okay. This is gonna be a long stream, isn't it? Okay. I wouldn't be surprised, and this is just my take. I could see Essence of Thought trying to mobilize her audience to go and harass a creator, but it really seems like Essence of Thought has fallen off in recent years and is just kind of a nobody now. Thank you, Nani. Very based of you. All right. What up, Lexi? Watching on a TV. All right. All right, let's get going. Oh god, this is gonna be a long one. All right, so Nani went to the web archive and grabbed the thread of Rachel Oates refuting the drama from the past. So let's get reading on that. All right. I've been shown this screenshot, and I've got to say, if you can start making lists, you better put me on both. I support Steve because I don't want to see the community divided. I won't denounce a friend for one mistake. I know he's working hard to learn about what he did wrong, and I know how hard he's working to put things right. Supporting Steve does not mean I agree with everything he said in his video. We're allowed to have differing opinions. That's a really adult take. I have friends that have really stupid opinions on certain things in life. I usually don't press them on it. Personally, sometimes they're like less PC than me. And I just like let it be because I value the friendship more than I'm concerned about the politics. And generally speaking, nobody that I'm around is like a crazy bigot. Um, but yeah, there's that. So yeah, progressive atheist global, Jesus. This is like the most annoying redditors thread. um Progressive atheist global closed group. So this is a Facebook group. Jeanette Reyes thought it would be a good idea to list those who have come out in support of rationality rules and those who have come out in support of the trans community. I think possibly to avoid confusion, the allies should have a separate topic. This is not a complete list of people who have been supportive towards rationality rules. Please add others that you have seen. Okay. Jesus, the skeptic community. Diesel, let me know if you need a bigot in your friend group. I got you. Okay, so this is crazy people talk. Like, I understand if you're like really passionate about LGBTQ issues, and I think, like I've always said, you should be able to identify how you want, love who you love, live your life, live your best life, and not be, wrongfully judged by people who are just like assholes, right? But this is crazy. This is not healthy, right? So now what you're doing here is like you have a disagreement with somebody about their opinions on, say, trans women in sports, right? Now, regardless of wherever your opinion lies on the topic, that's not the matter of discussion, but you have a friend or acquaintance in your community that disagrees with it. Now, as a community that focuses around debating, you need to be okay with people disagreeing with that. But here you have people disagreeing, and what you've decided to do is just cut them off and make it so the discussion never happens. Nobody's going to learn or grow or change. You're never going to win hearts and minds in any battle, if that's how you want to look at it. You're never going to win the hearts and minds of anybody if you're going to sit around in your little hug box and they're going to sit around in their hug box, because now you've just segregated each other, right? So now you're never going to reach any kind of conclusion or change any people's minds, right? So it'll just make you look like an idiot. Like, you need to be able to defend your points, and especially if it's in a debate-like setting, that's even more so than that. Xanderhal's law. Whenever there are multiple people and Xanderhal's in an argument, Xanderhal has the worst take of everyone in the group. So I see some names I know here. Telltale Atheist I've heard of. Mr. Atheist, Cosmic Skeptic, Rachel, Noah, GM Skeptic I've heard of. We're allowed to have differing opinions. That said, if I genuinely thought he was transphobic, I wouldn't be supporting him. Diesel is the future philosopher of our generation. No, like this is not even like something that should be hard to understand, right? The way that they teach you, right? When I was more right leaning, why I left to right, yeah, whatever. Okay. Um, when I was more right leaning, I took an activism thing. They paid me to go get trained to be a better professional recruiter. So I was a recruiter for a political group, right? Um, and basically, what they taught us is you don't hit them with your like most crazy opinions or your hardline takes. You kind of do like a quick judgment call of the person and then go, where do we agree? Right? And then you kind of use that to make the person agree with you. And you ease them into those things, which is fucked up, by the way, but also both sides do it. It's how you win hearts and minds. You need to be able to show people where you guys meet, right? And when you show them that, you build a connection with that person, right? And you break down barriers. And once you do that, you're able to have a more comprehensive discussion. And generally, they're more willing to agree with you on topics that maybe they wouldn't agree with if they were in a different setting. Because people change their beliefs based on who they're around, right? Your opinions are based around who you're around. That affects it quite a bit. FPS Muad'Dib Diesel. Sorry guys, I'm gonna rebuild the Imperium. They call me Lisa Malgaib. Right? But you don't want to do what this community on Facebook is doing. That's how you lose. That's how you just become radicals. We're allowed to have differing opinions. That said, if I genuinely thought he was transphobic, I wouldn't be supporting him. But I know he never intended to cause harm and definitely didn't expect certain people to use his video to try and push harmful agendas. I, like so many other creators on the list, have consistently shown our support for the trans community. So it's not a choice between supporting Steve or supporting transgender people. We can and do support both. You know, another thing is that they always treat it as a black and white thing, especially in like either Twitch poll or just politics in general, where it's like you're either red or you're blue. And this seems to be something that's particularly a sticking point with American politics. But there's this issue where you can only be one or the other, right? But if somebody makes a mistake, they should be able to make that mistake and grow from it. But the problem is that nobody allows it to happen on the internet. God, fuck, I feel like shit. But yeah, you don't. That you can do both, even if the person has a bad take. Having a bad take or an opinion that you disagree with doesn't mean that everything you are gonna disagree with on, right? You know, I can probably ask you like 3 or 4 questions and figure out where you lie on the political axis, right? But a lot of these people who are in this space have very strong and varied and hopefully nuanced opinions on these issues. So if they make a mistake, just there can be a dialogue. If Diesel wore the maid outfit, I too would listen to everything he says. Yeah, you know what's another fucking annoying thing about all this shit? So Ethel is aware that drama people are covering her and that there's been a discussion kind of going on. Yeah. If you're bad if you don't pick a side. Yeah, that's like another annoying thing. Not everything, and I've said this before, but not everything you'd need to have a discussion on. You don't always need to be like rallied to a cause or a fight every time. You guys have lives to live, jobs, loved ones. You know, all of this shit, all of this shit. You have all these things going on, right? You don't need to dedicate yourself to every single political cause that you see happen on Twitter.com. But Ethel tweeted this out recently. Me looking through Skov's largest supporters, noting how the majority of them are known bigots, sexual predators, and members of the MRA community during Gamergate. Is that really the best they could muster, huh? So like, I'm trying to figure out where I lie on this axis. I'm trying to figure out which one am I. I mean, I don't think I can be a bigot. I think I'm pretty welcoming of all people. It's like who is she even talking about? I guess maybe she's talking about Chud Logic. Maybe Chud Logic, maybe Chris the Narc, either one of them, but Chud, Chris, and I have been some of the most vocal about Ethel. I don't know who else. I'm still wondering what she's meaning by sexual predator. I mean, I am pretty sexy, and I am quite alpha, so maybe I'm the predator. Yeah, that's another thing I want to say. How is Gamergate coming up in discussion of political discourse now in the year 2024? I understand the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff is happening right now, but that's a little crazy. She blocked Chris on Twitter, so maybe Chris is the bigot. I think Chris is the bigot. Diesel, you always talk about the she-they bisexuals, but never the he-they bisexuals. It's very uninclusive. That's another thing, right? Where hold on. Well, first of all, listen, Nathan Pussy got me acting unwise. If you got double D's in a mullet, I want to know your location right now. Chris and Leon did a race tier list and it was funny. Well, we know where Chris lies. Yeah, every time I hear fucking Gamergate, I get a migraine. Like, it's not like these people talk about it like they were in fucking Vietnam. You were in Vietnam, you saw some mean tweets. But I'm inclusive. I'm inclusive. I want to blow your back out. That's how inclusive I am. See, the thing is, I can get away with saying that. Tipster can't get away with saying that. All right, because I've built my brand on people thirsting about the possibility of me. The MRA community during Gamergate. I mean, I was around during Gamergate. I had plenty of strong opinions. I shockingly believe that maybe nepotism in games journalism in the game industry is a bad idea. What else? Maybe you shouldn't review the game of somebody that you fucked. Might be a conflict of interest. Console wars were my personal Vietnam movie, Bob. Okay. Oh boy. There's a lot here. Oh my god. Nani. I ain't making it out of the hood with this one, huh? Shit. Okay. Let's get back to reading Rachel's thread. Diesel has pretty privilege. That's a nice one. Thank you. You're pretty too. Go get it, girl. Or guy. Or whatever. I'm using it in a non-gender specific way. Please don't get mad at But I know he never intended to cause harm and definitely didn't expect certain people to blah, blah, blah. So the choice, blah, blah, blah. Can we all just stop trying to create an us versus them thing? Can we stop trying to pit atheists and YouTubers against each other? This is like getting crazy. This is crazy. Can we realize that we can disagree with someone's ideas and thoughts and we can work to correct them and help them learn without having it turn into an all-out war against a person? People making lists like this need to grow up. You can disagree with ideas without hating a person. You can like a person and not agree on everything. That's true. That's very adult of you, Rachel. I support transgender people. I support other YouTubers. I support people taking time to learn and grow. I don't support drama. I do support drama. It makes me money. You should flex, pretty guy. Yeah, but I'm in a sweater. I'm like all cozy right now. Um, like, yeah, Jesus. And then, of course, you know, womp 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 womp. He made a well-researched video that he went to the conclusion that if something isn't done, trans athletes will destroy women's sports. If a theist said this bullshit, people would be debunking the shit out of it. This is a terminally online argument. I'm sorry. Real people don't go and have this debate in real life. It just doesn't happen. Oh my God. Internet atheists, the skeptic community, feminist community, the booktube. This is just the worst kind of. This is like you guys, like, fellas, you're on a date. You're going to Starbucks. You meet the girl. And this is her whole like YouTube feed. I want you to picture what that girl looks like and say, I think we're thinking of the same look, right? I just okay. You're right. He missed some key bits of research, and his claims in the video should be critiqued. But you can do that without ad hom attacks, calling for him to be canceled and claiming everyone who his friend is a transphobe who agrees with the video. White woman. Thank you, Liv. Oh my God. I'm sure some people have been saying that, but me and Essence of Thought and many of their friends are patiently waiting for Rationality Rules new video so we can start to undo the bad will that the original video has done. A huge respect for a change of heart if it has happened. I believe you, but Essence of Thought has been spreading literal lies about me. Uh-oh. Wait, no. Maybe he tweeted this statement in reference to me. Woodford crowd has gone from we know they have an advantage to we don't know if they have an advantage, so let's block them, as an argument to strip trans people of their rights. I literally have no idea what I'm reading, chat. I literally have no idea what I'm reading. I'm so fucking philosophically out of my depth in this conversation. I can't even begin to break into it. Here's the Wikitubia page. Oh, God. You know, the thing is, Weaver of Dreams, after I saw the tweet today where Ethel was talking about the haters who are teaming up on her against mind numbing. After she so Ethel made an attack against the drama people, right? When she made that tweet. And when she made that tweet, it mobilized me, okay? She activated me. All right. Let's see. All our videos have transcripts. All right. Jesus Christ. Oh, here's Levi. Levi's same age. Levi, born 1998, is a demisexual, demi-romantic, bisexual, transgender, uses he, him pronouns. God, I ain't making it out of the hood with this one, bros. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm just laughing because it's a lot of words. That's it. I'm not trying to mock. I'm not trying to mock what they identify as. They're allowed to. I'm like, say it. We know you want. No, I have. The heck. He's autistic, has tinnitus and PTSD, and is a child survivor of sexual abuse. Oh, shit. No. The thing is, 2D trash. This made sense to me, right? This made sense to me, right? I understand this made sense to me, but it also inhabits like it does approach a level of parody, right? Like it is not outrageous for me to say that that approaches a level of parody. I don't know why the tinnitus makes the list. The tinnitus part is really fucking funny. There's no reason for the tinnitus part to be there whatsoever, unless the tinnitus has that much of a much of an impact. What Skelly said. Okay. Ethel has released controversial videos on a number of atheist YouTubers. Oh boy, this is a long thread. Let's find out. On March 29th, 2019, Rationality Rules, Stephen Woodford uploaded a video about transgender athletes in which he stated that he believed male to female trans athletes had an advantage in many sports and should not compete against cis women. Shortly after releasing the video, Steve went to Texas for 2 weeks for Faithless Forum, an atheist convention. Bro, the smell in there must have been ridiculous. Steve uploaded this video as an apology. He demonetized the original video, updated title, pinned a comment, and donated all the ad revenue it made to a transgender charity, Sparkle. You know, the thing is he had a bad take, and he let an entire community basically bully him to donate the money. I mean, you know, it's ill-gotten gains for a good cause, but, like, you know, it's kind of fucked up when you think about it. He also donated the money made from the apology video. This comment was pinned in the original video. I want to make it very clear that I have a few major mistakes within my video, and that due to this, I've demonetized it and added a title. Please note this video contains errors. I'll be publishing a new video relatively soon in which I correct these mistakes and express my altered views. To be clear, I haven't done a complete U-turn, but my views have indeed changed in very important ways. FYI, some have suggested I delete the video, but for the sake of transparency, I made mistakes. Honest representation, as opposed to those chopped up and uncontextualized versions that some critics have made, as an example to be learned from. I doubt I'll opt for this option. Steve later remade the video and unlisted the original and posted the following comment under the new version. The most astute among you must be thinking, wait, didn't Steve make this video a month or so ago? And the answer is yes. However, it's been delisted due to primarily the narrative being so easily leveraged by some people who were and still are attacking trans people. This video can be considered the remake, and I've done my utmost best to illustrate that this is not about people's rights. It's about what constitutes fairness in sport. You, me, and everyone else have the right to compete in sports, but does not mean we get the right to compete in a division we want. The women's category, in my opinion, poorly named given our current culture climate. So I'd like to name more along the lines of under some fucking thingy category, as in under 5 nanomoles of testosterone per liter. But make no mistakes, it's about it. The woman's category is not based on gender identity or even genitalia or chromosomes. It's based on hormone levels and absence of male puberty. Whatever your views on the topic, please don't be a dick. I get that it's an emotional topic, but don't attack trans people for who they are. And don't call everyone a transphobe. Such conduct is unacceptable. It helps no one. Okay. I think that all athletes should be allowed to be on testosterone. Everybody should be geared out to the gills. I want them to hand me Diana Ball as I sit in my seat. I want to be so juiced out of my fucking mind that I rip a hole through the wall. I'm not even competing. I'm just watching. I want to know how fast we can go, not how fast we naturally move. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, I see the word Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm gonna go to Rachel Oates. Anyway, yeah, Steve had a take that the community didn't like, and basically it got turned into a big fuck off free for all in the political debate sphere, right? That's what happened. Right? That's all we need to know. And assumedly Diesel supports the Super Olympics. Exactly. Okay. Rachel Oates on May 28th, 2019. Rachel Oates uploaded an in-depth response to the lies about me, which is unlisted. Let's click that. Let's see if it opens up anything. Okay, it's going to be slow. Which is unlisted. Rachel Oates was attacked by some of Ethel's fans for remaining friends with Steve, which is wrong. The conflict led to her self-harming. She was called a vulture and was told she was capitalizing on others' misery. You know, the thing is if James Somerton isn't dead, they're going to go right back to just ripping him a new fucking asshole, okay? Like, that's where that is. At one point, Ethel called the police, who nearly reported Rachel as a missing person. Holy Kool-Aid. Who? Yes, I am a 40K enjoyer. Also found evidence that Ethel had deleted a comment Rachel left on one of her videos. Ethel's response was to post a photo of her and some friends who had been playing Dungeons and Dragons with a sign that said, "Fuck you, Thomas." Rachel published a 45-page statement on the situation on Google Docs available here, where she stated that after months of trying to be left alone, she felt Essence of Thought was actively trying to ruin her reputation and career by lying about her, and she didn't know how to stop it. Rachel explained that she held what she was the default position on transgender athletes, which was to let them compete where they want unless someone can prove this is causing harm, and that she did not know or care about the topic to form a solid opinion. That's completely fine and reasonable. She also asked Essence of Thought to stop lying about her and making slanderous claims such as, quote, she viciously attacks any trans person looking to hold Woodford accountable. Okay. I haven't seen that. I'd love to be proven otherwise. Yeah, I am not reading a 45-page Google Doc, okay? That is not happening. Let's see, and blah blah blah. A vicious attacks against anyone looking to hold Woodford accountable. Rachel also felt like her friendship with Steve was being held at ransom, which it was, and I would agree with that opinion. The title of the final sentence of the document is, "Don't let this go further. Please don't let anyone get seriously hurt." Levi has uploaded 2 videos, each an hour long, criticizing Rachel. You have cracked out cuckoo syndrome. Ethel uploaded a video. Telltale Atheist defends gay genocide. Okay, all right. I think I'm gonna just watch the videos on Rachel because this is unhealthily insane and crazy. So, all right, I am gonna make a judgment call here. I am going to say that. Okay, first of all, I'm not even going to get into like most of these debates, and Chad, I would suggest you don't either. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm not going to stop you guys from disagreeing with each other, but just like don't be cringe as fuck about it. Like I don't just don't be an asshole, right? It's that easy. Um she is a book YouTuber, yeah. But the basis of Ethel is that so something happens, right, in the debatosphere, right? Something happens in the debate sphere or Twitch poll or I'm gay and I'm tired of hearing it co-perceived. Right? Something like I completely lost my train of thought. I'm struggling. Ethel will have something happen and it might be like a small spat or disagreement of opinion or disagreement of belief. And Ethel turns it into this person is ornithologically evil. She is a bad, like, this is a bad person. They should be stopped. They should be deplatformed. They should have their life ruined. She doesn't say it like that, but it's implied, right? Like the essence of her responses to somebody like Vangelina is that Vangelina should have her life ruined, right? Because what else is going to happen aside from ruining Vangelina's life? Right? That's really it. I mean, it's the same thing with any exposed video. Like we can say don't harass a person, but that's not going to stop anything. Um, so I usually don't say stuff like that because you should know better, and if you don't, then you're probably just an idiot anyway. Um, the unlisted video is what I think it is. It's rough. She made a video that she quickly took down where she was actively harming herself. Jesus Christ. I've been coming to really like Age of Sigmar personally. But the point of the matter is that Ethel seems to exaggerate quite a bit. And I think Ethel likes to perpetuate a aura of self-victimhood about herself. And I don't think that's unreasonable to say given Ethel's takes at the beginning of her video about Vangelina, where instead of getting into the meat and potatoes, and this is something I criticize Essence of Thought for, Ethel needed to describe why she is at a loss for words and that her life was made worse through various medical means that had nothing to do with Vangelina, right? Like that's really the basis of it is that she wants it to be like some like she wants to be a victim of every situation. And that's just not a good way to go through life, personally, in my opinion. If you let life make you a victim in every situation, then you do become a victim of every situation and you succeed at nothing and your life amounts to nothing. I mean, like Ethel, like maybe you're able to maintain a living on 43K subscribers, but I can tell you, you probably don't, right? Ethel also doesn't particularly strike me as quite the self-confident person. I think they're self-confident, but I think it's a lot of ego masquerading the fact that they probably hate themselves quite a bit. Um, All right, this video is 4 years old and an hour long. Yeah, Ethel and Keffels are cut from the same cloth. Yeah, it's really such a shame. I think there are really good creators that are trans, but it's a shame that the ones that seem to get into the political space are ones that are not that great. There's no like Keffels is completely disingenuous as an individual and just does not do anything good for trans folk at all. And then the same thing with Ethel, where Ethel is a crazy person and just does such a bad gives such a bad look to it, and it's such a shame because there are creators who are trans that cover stuff that has nothing to do.
$2 from Bummerman 3001. I'm sorry to interpret. Akira Toriyama died today.
Okay, I really didn't expect to hear that via fucking donation. But yeah, no, there are plenty. Fuck, there was somebody in the 40K space I remember seeing. That was a really good example. You know, shit, I wish I could remember. The point of the matter here is that most trans creators are just trying to live their life and make videos in their niche. But it's very unfortunate that these are the people that are championing for either like rights or other such things that are important. Because they're not really genuine, or they're more worried about themselves than overall community, or at least that's how it strikes me. But yeah, Jesus Christ, Akira Toriyama passed. But yeah, it's a damn shame to see this kind of behavior from the political space. It just seems that, I don't know, political creators seem to be really not reasonable a lot of the time, and I maybe this is just the way politics are going, really, where more radical people are propped up. But I don't think it's great for the longevity of, in particular, American politics to have all these people who are like really strong opinion on everything. I think we live in a society that is enough to have much more varied and nuanced opinions, but you know. Well, Finster doesn't identify as a cis male anymore, from what I remember. Axis. That was like a really recent change. Yeah. Yeah. But for a very long time, I know when Finster was identifying as a cis male, there was a lot of people from the trans community and like that space on the internet who were ripping Finster a new one all the time, for passing really well. And it's just like that shouldn't like that's the exact thing that shouldn't be happening, right? That's the exact kind of movement on discourse that should not be happening. Um, but this is an hour long. I want to see what Essence of Thought is going to say. Political YouTubers have strong opinions because if they falter even a little, their audience turns on them. Yeah, okay, but like they can't have contradictory opinions, right? Where they can't get like you can't be someone like Hassan and support Israel. I don't this isn't about what the beliefs are. This is about the existence of the beliefs, period. Right? So he can't support that because he needs to support the other talking points for his like quote unquote mission, right? Or someone like I don't know, some of the political streamers are just they just got some really wacky opinions. Vosh is just a wacky guy. Well, that's once he
certified
that's once
hood
Finster
classic.
came out.
Come on and slam and welcome to the jam. X4 in West Philadelphia, born and raised in the playground where I spent most of my days chilled out, max and relax and all cool.
Thank you, Keeper of the Keys, which is probably Cat was taken, but thank you, Keeper of the Keys. Point of the matter is, I get really annoyed by political tubers, but I'm just here to cover the drama, so...
Let's say we had this atheist YouTuber. We'll call him Mr. Secularist. Now, Mr. Secularist specializes in criticizing religious bigotry, but eventually, Mr. Secularist comes across another YouTuber, a Christian who goes by the name of Woman Described. Woman Described puts out anti-LGBT+ and anti-atheist content based on her religious beliefs. Over the coming months, Mr. Secularist produces video after video criticizing Woman Described, creating more than 30 videos. Then, one day, out of the blue, Woman Described puts out a video. In the video, she claims that the criticism leveled against her by Mr. Secularist have driven her to the edge. She raises a blood-covered arm and accuses Mr. Secularist of having harassed her to the point of breaking.
Beckett Rage. What up, what up, what up? What's happening? What's happening? I'm busy. I'm dying. I'm trying to figure out what guys, I gotta be honest, I don't understand the drama between Rachel Oates and Essence of Thought.
That situation. Was Mr. Secularist in the wrong for criticizing what he genuinely saw to be a problem? Should he have not criticized Woman Described since he could have not predicted the way she would respond?
I wish Essence of Thought would just make like a rap video. Just make a diss track. Essence of Thought. Can you make a diss track? Can you lower the level of intellectual complexity here? I don't even listen. I can handle these intellectual talks, okay? But like this shit is fucking annoying. Diesel, I will send you a TLDR. I'm trying. I'm not asking for you to do things. I apologize. It's just really fucking frustrating.
Would we apply the standard to the criticism of all people, or just people with a specific set of traits? What if, say, someone like Kirk Cameron made the same claims about all the criticism leveled against him? What if he demanded his critics silence themselves for his well-being? What if he did so whilst continuing to propagate an anti-LGBT+/atheist narrative?
Did you harass Rachel Oates?
The 4th of September, 1:26 p.m. India Standard Time.
This isn't for the sake of drama. I want a genuine apology, not just for me, but for everyone. Since EOT has me blocked, and I can't tell them how their words hurt me, can someone please send him a screenshot of my thread and see if they apologize this time?
The 4th of September, 5:44 p.m. India Standard Time.
I don't want to post this, but I don't know what else to do. I don't want sympathy. I want Essence of Tweet to be accountable for their actions and realize what they're doing. I need an apology. I'm lost and hurt and angry and sad and confused and terrified. EOT hurt me, and he's hurting others. Maybe not to the same extent, but I don't want to risk that. I can't cope with any more lies and name-calling from him, and I can't risk seeing it happen to other people. Not everyone should watch this video. It might be hard for many. I don't want people to know all this stuff. It's my private stuff. But I don't know how else to get him to leave me alone than to show EOT what he's doing to me. I feel so terrified and weak and out of options.
Okay, this person is at like Rachel Oates is on her knees begging to be left alone. I don't know how else you could look at this and not have some empathy for just wanting to end it. Like I don't know, like sometimes I cover people and I get really, it's hard to be so negative sometimes. So it's just like, I don't know.
And I don't know what else to do. I'm just
how you do this.
On the 4th of September, popular YouTuber Rachel Oates called on her 100,000 subscribers to actively violate the block I put in place to prevent her from contacting me. By her own words, she did so with the explicit intention of making me read her tweets, to in turn force a reaction. As far as forcing a reaction...
You're just assuming that she's forcing a reaction. right? Because she's saying, "Leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone," and you have her blocked. So you're just attacking her and cry bullying behind a block, expecting what? For her not to like beg to be left alone? Like, what are you doing? Like, oh, stop hitting me as you're hitting them? Like, what's wrong with you?
Her plan worked. Less than an hour later, I had posted a thread to my own wall. In that thread, I detailed exactly why I take issue with Oates and shall.
Yeah, you're a crazy person. You're fucking, oh my God, not to be that guy. And I know everybody dogs on a fucking drama YouTuber when they call someone a sociopath. But like this response is like fucking insane. I'll put the volume up. Be absolutely clear, Rachel Oates is a transphobic bigot who actively attacks trans people, trying to hold Woodford, her personal friends, for calling for violence against trans people. I haven't once seen that kind of thing brought up. I know I've just done a skim of everybody's opinions, right? But nowhere in the TLDR on Woodford was any of that related to attacking anybody physically or calling for violence. Like, there's none of that. And then you're using you're a creator that specifically targets those issues, right? You're going to mobilize your audience against somebody who you call a transphobic bigot who attacks trans people because you're putting that on a level of like physical violence. Like, that's not what this is. You had a disagreement of opinions and beliefs, which is perfectly fine, normal, and natural as adults.
Continue to criticize her for defending an openly violent transphobe whilst simultaneously claiming to be an ally to the trans community. I was angry. Here was a person not only defending a man who seeks to strip me and my fellow trans people of our human rights, but she does so whilst pretending to care for us. When I posted my thread, I thought that was the end of it, that I'd dropped the mic and walked off. So when I found my Twitter feed being overrun by her many fans, hurling all sorts of abuse, including transphobic slurs at me for daring to criticize her, I was a little overwhelmed. Someone claimed that I'd upset Oates with my response to her and told me that she hoped I was happy with what I'd apparently done. Pretty vague insinuations. Eventually, I came to discover that Oates had gone on record defaming my character. She was claiming that I'd been harassing her to the point that she was afraid of me. She was also claiming to have taken to self-harm as a result. At that point, our Twitter fell silent as myself and Adita, unsure as to the veracity of these claims, contacted the Metropolitan Police to inform them that Oates was a potential risk to herself.
So, whoa. Rachel Oates is being harassed by you. You decide to call the police on behalf of Rachel Oates. That's the exact thing she's talking about. You're driving her to this mental health crisis, and then you're also exacerbating the issue. Oh my God. Yeah, and Woodford is in no position of power to strip anybody of their rights. Yeah, 100%. I don't get that, but okay.
The reason why is very simple. I know nothing about Oates outside of her defense of the violent transphobe, Stephen Woodford. I don't now and have never followed any of her social media pages or watched a single one of her videos.
You never watched a single one of your videos. You don't know anything about her opinions and beliefs, but you decided to attack her? What the fuck is your fucking problem? What are you, stupid? Don't you need to understand people's beliefs before you get into an argument with them? Why do you think I'm watching your shit and reading your shit? So that way I have an understanding of your fucking beliefs and opinions so I can counter them. Which, by the way, chat, if you want me to win this argument, stop with the fucking transphobia. I don't like, you're allowed to have your beliefs, I get it, but like, I don't need to be transphobic to say that fucking this idiot is an idiot, okay? She's a lich, irrespective of her gender, like, period. She's a fucking asshole and a piece of shit.
I don't know anything about her backstory, and I don't need to. Nothing justifies defending violent transphobes. Yet another thing I didn't know
violent transphobes, nobody's called for violence. Please show that.
She lived alone or with others. Therefore, we did all we could to ensure her safety. After which, we stopped responding, waiting 24 hours before posting our public statement on advice of the police. After contacting the Metropolitan Police, we contacted our local Indian police to detail the transphobic.
Yeah, I can't wait for the "what are you stupid" thing to be equated to me being ableist. No, I've met really smart people who are fucking morons.
Harassment, including death threats, that we started receiving from Oates' fanbase. You see, even
the thing is, Essence of Thoughts, I guarantee you,
your fucking community just the same way is going to turn around and give Rachel Oates plenty of death threats, right? Because that's what this kind of fucking shit causes, all right? Like, let's not even mince words here. You're not the only one on the receiving end of it. Don't be stupid. You and I both know that's true. I get death threats all the time. Fuck.
Facts Oates thought to provoke a response whilst we had her blocked was publicly available, people bought into her dishonest claim that I'd been harassing her. Part of me understands that. We see someone crying, someone we formed a parasocial relationship with, and that impacts us. We feel angry, we feel the desire to reach out and to help them, to make the person responsible suffer. I get that. That is every day of my life when I read these statistics as to what's happening to trans people day after day.
Wait,
So I want
what?
to be
Does that
clear.
mean you're like resisting the urge to go on like violent rages against on behalf of trans folk? Is that what you're just implying there? What?
Story, and I don't need to. Nothing justifies defending violent transphobes. Yet another thing I didn't know was whether she lived alone or with others. Therefore, we did all we could to ensure her safety. After which, we stopped responding, waiting 24 hours before posting our public statement on advice of the police. After contacting the Metropolitan Police, we contacted our local Indian police to detail the transphobic harassment, including death threats, that we started receiving from Oates' fanbase. You see, even though the facts Oates thought to provoke a response whilst we had her blocked was publicly available, people bought into her dishonest claim that I'd been harassing her. Part of me understands that. We see someone crying, someone we formed a parasocial relationship with, and that impacts us. We feel angry, we feel the desire to reach out and to help them, to make the person responsible suffer. I get that. That is every day of my life when I read these statistics as to what's happening to trans people day after day.
You read
So I
statistics
want to be
related to
clear.
trans people and
I'm not here to
and resist
undermine
the
your
urge to get violent? What? That's literally what you just said. That's literally what you just said. That's a weird take. It's a really weird take. That's like you're like resisting the urge to become violent. What? Like if you want to play that pedantic game. Yeah, I know. They talk so slow when you put it on normal speed.
emotional response. I'm here to provide evidence that shows what actually took place and demonstrate how your good nature has been manipulated by Oates and numerous other people. Starting with the facts that someone who is genuinely afraid and is doing everything they can.
So you think that Oates is like a sociopath who's manipulating her audience? So far, all I've seen is you manipulate the audience. Statistics don't actually come out day after day, 100%. Yeah, obviously. I assume they're making like a euphemism or like a metaphor there, but I don't know.
Stop someone talking to them would not violate Twitter safety features to provoke a response from said person. Something one might expect such a person to do is block the individual they're afraid of. Yet Oates never once did that. As far as I'm aware, she didn't have me blocked until after myself and Adita posted our statement noting that the police were now involved. What's more is, this is pattern behaviour. When fellow YouTuber Rhetoric and Discourse was critical of her in a thread a couple weeks after all this had happened, she demanded that he stop, to which he responded by telling her to block him if she
She was engaging. Hers was the first video made on the subject, and the first to call Peter / Ethel evil. Rachel also made sure to circumvent EOT's block to continue engaging with them. Wait, no, this is the same thing. She's asking to not talk about the same exact fucking thing. What do you mean? Like, you're like equating different
all
things.
this had happened, she demanded that he stop, to which he responded
Yeah, no shit. I don't want to deal with this anymore. Please leave me alone. A few weeks later. Yeah, no shit, of course.
by telling her to block him if she felt uncomfortable seeing what he was saying in a conversation with other people. Her response? She outright refused to do so, ordering him to stop criticizing her once more. What this displays is that Rachel Oates not only rejects any real responsibility for handling her own comfort, she genuinely believes that if she
Hold on, you also reject any responsibility for handling your own comfort. If the Vangelina stuff is anything to go by, I understand that this is 4 years old, but retroactively, it makes you look like a moron. Because, like, you talk about, like, your health physically being affected. Or, like, trying to, like, woe is me your way through VangelinaSkov shit. Okay? And you're just making yourself out to be, like, the same exact kind of person who can't take it.
wants you to stop criticizing her, there's the responsibility of her critics to self-censor. How could you imagine if, to go back to my earlier example at the start, Kirk Cameron or Ken Hovind made the exact same sort of insistence? How long before that expectation is laughed out of there? So why then is it treated as reasonable with Rachel Oates? When she did everything she could to circumvent my block to provoke me, I had no reason to suspect that she would respond the way she did to some criticism. None at all. There was absolutely nothing about a person who, The only way I can describe it was harassing me, which suggested a single...
You're just like you. I love how this video is 4 years old. I assumed it was the birth of the drama, and it wasn't even that. I can't even begin to. I have to like go through. Let me go back. She did a video on Rachel Oates 2 months ago. She's still on it. 4 years ago, leave me alone. The drama would be done, but you're still talking about it 2 months ago. This is fucking 5 years old. You have been on it about her for a half a decade, Ethel.
Rachel Oates on the 1st of October, 2020.
These kinds of people who think it's worse to be called transphobic than it is to do anything transphobic, or that it's worse to be called a misogynist than it is to say misogynistic things. Like, it's ridiculous. It's not. Just be a good person and you won't be called these things.
Rachel Oates on the 5th of April, 2022.
Quote, so quick update, I filed a defamation claim against EOT's video and YouTube agreed with me that it is in violation of the UK's defamation laws and so have restricted it from being played in the UK. The big claims in their...
Okay. Wait. So she's saying, don't say or do these things that are bad, and you won't be called these things. Rather, like, I don't see a single wrong thing with what Rachel Oates just said, and this doesn't prove any of these things.
Video that I'm a serial transphobe are utterly false and are said with the intent of
The big claims that I'm a... Yeah.
damaging my reputation. End quote.
It's ridiculous. It's not. Just be a good person and you won't be called these things.
But that doesn't... Hold on. That doesn't prove your point. That doesn't do anything. I like the way you want to do that, right? If you wanted to get an own on her, right, is show her doing that and then show her doing something transphobic, not being called that, because that's the response to her doing something, not her doing something. You want to show her doing the thing because her point wasn't the word. Her point was the behavior, and you didn't show the behavior. So that was a bad argument that you made. That was a bad I know drama. That's not how you do that. That's not how you win that. Thank you, Nani. Holy shit. We're gonna Rachel Oates videos master list. Sorry, I sneezed. 2019 videos. This is too many. I be sneezing.
This is just one piece of evidence out of many that Rachel Oates wants to ban you,
Thank you,
from
Nani.
seeing. Why? Well, because it draws into question her own actions, a fact we'll discuss in further detail in a second. But first, a quick content warning for the following. Transmisia, queermisia, harassment, death threats, psychological harm, medical harm,
I listen, man. Transmisia and queermisia just sound like I think the trans community should claim this as the magic that they can do. You know, like this feels like magic. Like this like my queer viewers, you guys you cast queermisia. Like you cast like a queermisian spell. You know what I mean?
harm, suicidal ideation, police violence, animal abuse, and child sexual abuse. If you like our work and appreciate the research put into each video, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon. You can also support us by liking, commenting, and sharing this video on social media. Hi there, my name is Ethel Thurston, she, her, they, them, and today we'll be continuing our journey to document the impact Rachel Oates has had on the trans community. Specifically how, after spending months goading me into responding, Oates flipped the narrative, pretending as if I'd been the one harassing her, using systems...
Okay, hold on. You have an obscene number of videos on Rachel Oates. I think it would be much easier to form the, neighboring country to Transnistria.
discussion regarding transmisia in the secular community. This culminated in the second most traumatic experience I've ever been put through, second only to being raped as a child.
That's okay. You're equating quite a lot to
to Rachel Oates. And also, I could see Rachel making a very good argument for you harassing her, given a number of videos that you have.
That is the level of violence Rachel Oates chose to inflict upon me. And that's before we even get to the harm she caused the trans community as a whole, a fact she has never been held to account for. That's why we...
Who was the other creator? VangelinaSkov mentioned Ethel went after hardcore previously. She didn't say the name of the person. I'm curious to dive down that rabbit hole of crazy. It's Rachel. That's the one she's talking about. It's Rachel.
Here. That's what everything I have been doing the past 4 years has been building towards. It's time to discuss how I survived Rachel Oates, yet more importantly...
Survived? You say like she pointed a gun at you, bro.
Had to...
Log off. Turn off your computer. Go outside. Jesus.
In the first place. This video is the 4th in a 5-part series.
Could be ContraPoints too. Yeah, but definitely Rachel.
Between Rachel Oates and the trans community. Our first video went into detail regarding the hypocrisy played at the start, comparing how Oates presents herself as an ally to the trans community versus how she actually acts. We also discussed her...
Being a trans ally doesn't mean I have to agree with 1, everything a trans person says, 2, everything a trans person does, 3, there can be trans people who are fucking shitty. Okay, because there are plenty of people that exist in this world that are shitty and good. We have a wide berth of people here on Earth. Don't know if you've been here, but no one group is actually exclusively good. There is a possibility that, hey, maybe there are some trans people that suck. Okay, and being a trans ally doesn't mean that you have to agree with everything a trans person does. Even, you know, like that's completely fine. I consider myself an EOT survivor.
Dishonesty in pretending like YouTube ruled on the issue when they legally cannot do so. The second video delved into the ACA split and how Rachel Oates published private information stolen from a mental health support group in an effort to demonize trans people taking measures to protect themselves.
That was not a mental health support group. That was an atheist Facebook group. It's a little, from what I remember, that was the atheist Facebook group.
The third video discussed how she published private emails sent to her by a trans member of her audience, in spite of said trans audience member repeatedly telling her that he was afraid of the way her audience would react if he had posted said messages publicly. We also responded to what she said in those emails, namely her numerous lies about what had taken place thus far in 2019. So you should go ahead and watch those videos before this one, as I will be referring to them throughout this video. All of our work is fully referenced so that you can check things for yourself. If you're in the UK and find yourself unable to watch any of the videos in this series, due to Oates' habit of weaponizing the UK's draconian defamation laws to stifle free speech, specifically criticism, you can use a VPN to get around the issue, or simply read the transcripts/watch one of the mirrors linked in the master list that can be found in the description of each video.
So you're telling people how to circumvent your nation's laws? Is that like, okay, can you do that? That kind of...
For the VPN, just change your country of origin to be outside of the UK, and you'll be able to access the wealth of evidence presented, allowing you to make up your own mind, something Rachel Oates would deny you. Speaking of denying you...
That's so outrageous. You're such an asshole. You're a piece of shit.
If you go to check any of Oates' videos or live streams referenced throughout any of our exposés, only to discover that they're no longer available, this is because Oates has taken to deleting and privating said evidence. Now, we'd originally prepared for this possibility by mirroring key pieces, unpublished, linking said mirror below the link.
This is EOT's vengeance for Rachel's 1-star Goodreads review.
To her original. Sadly, Rachel Oates saw this as an opportunity to abuse YouTube's copyright system to try and have the channel taken down. The string of DMCA claims Oates filed put the channel...
that seems like a bad idea to be like, listen, I know how to circumvent my nation's defamation laws.
A single strike away from the fee required to be deleted permanently, putting the future of the channel and my sole source of income as a trans person in jeopardy.
Whoa. You having your sole source of income put at jeopardy has nothing to do with your transness. See what I mean about the self-victimization? Have some confidence in yourself. Love yourself. I'm sorry, Ethel. You just seem so fucking miserable. You must be fucking just the most miserable fucking person to be around.
We naturally won our appeals over the coming weeks, leading YouTube to reinstate said videos, yet we decided that it was best to remove them to prevent Rachel Oates filing further DMCA takedowns from different channels, continuing...
I have a feeling those weren't DMCA takedowns. Those might have been privacy complaints or TOS violations. Yeah, you took food out of my starving trans mouth type of thing.
To legally harass us or even potentially spreading out said claims so that she got the necessary 3 strikes. The bottom line is, we try to ensure that everyone including her audience would always be able to see the full context of the clips we use for our exposés, it is Rachel Oates who has done everything in her power to make sure that is not the case.
You do a lot of yapping and not a lot of showing information, and you have this tendency to present things in a way that is you making an argument rather than you showing the facts, and you lose a debate when you do that. You need to actually bring something to the table here. If we're talking about drama, you need to come out with a punch. I say this all the time, guys. If you watch any of my streams, I say start with the strongest evidence first, so you immediately refute a claim and set people on your side. It's that easy, okay? Like, God, it's so fucking easy. People should pay me to do their fucking, like, crisis management.
With all that said, I still like to give a succinct recap of key events, as this context is key to understanding what transpired. If you've recently watched the previous videos in the series, feel free to skip ahead to the next chapter. If you find yourself wanting specific details or evidence, check the relevant video as shown by the reference number in the top left corner of the screen. So, our second video focused on a post Rachel Oates made to Twitter on the 14th of May, 2019, demonizing a trans-focused mental health support group formed by former ACA moderators who had walked out due to the horrific levels of transmissive, racist, sexist, and ableist abuse launched at them by her friend Woodford of Rationality Rules and his audience. Oates specifically targeted how the group went about protecting its members, namely by compiling a list of creators known to be safe.
See, the thing is, she's structuring this like this was a mental health support group, but it was like an atheist private community on Facebook. So why is it being presented as if it's a mental health group? That doesn't make any sense. Nobody would argue that is. And frankly, I don't think atheists would need that in this day and age, or in 2019. That's ridiculous.
Versus those who weren't, ensuring trans folk weren't caught in the crossfire. Yet not only did Oates demonize said group for taking reasonable measures to protect themselves from harm, but in posting the screenshot taken from said
From harm of what? A bad opinion, a bad take on Twitter? Are you kidding me?
private mental health support group, she published the real name of one of the group's members.
$10 from Access 1247. Unfortunately, not everything negative that happens to you is because you're trans. Ethel, I know that hurts you, but it's true. Life sucks and so do you. I'm going to bed. Good night, y'all.
Up to the very violence, they fled the ACA to escape. This was a fact Oates publicly acknowledged, yet she refused to take the post down, instead opting to blame the person she doxed for using their real name.
This is a Facebook group. Do you really think Facebook groups are private? You know who's viewing them? Mark Zuckerberg.
This was in spite of said screenshot having been stolen from a private mental health support group, a fact she also acknowledged yet felt no remorse for. I would later comment on her post, as shown in the third video, responding to a completely different line of conversation by politely requesting evidence that Woodford planned to donate the money he'd made from his original video, demonizing trans women, to charity. An act for which Oates and her friend, Lizzie Lang, chose to start mocking me.
He's already planning on donating all the money he had made from the video. He's just looking for the right charity. Evidence of this? I don't know. Perhaps because she's personal friends with him and they've spoken about it. Yep, what Lizzie said. Do we need to hire someone to take notes every time we have a chat now? They're being a little sassy there. I'll say it. They're being a little sassy. But, like, come on. Yeah, evidence that he's looking for a charity. Like, essence of thought, Ethel, guess what? You had the floor right there to be like, this is a good charity. Guess what? You could have lifted up trans people, but instead, you were so busy trying to get a fucking own that you just, instead of having a productive conversation, asked for evidence from someone you dislike. You had an opportunity to be like, this would be a great charity. Here's what they do. And instead, you're like, evidence of this? Fuck you, you stupid idiot.
Keep in mind that this was the first interaction I'd ever had with Oates on the issue, me asking her for evidence as a trans person harmed by her friend's actions.
How are you harmed? Because you don't look like an athlete to me. Okay, you look like you don't go outside.
And her mocking that request. In response,
You're a moron. You're a fucking idiot.
Reaffirmed my position as a
skeptic. Like written confirmation from the person themselves. Yeah, you want them writing it on their forehead, you fucking sycophant. I don't even know if I'm using that correctly. Whatever. Fuck you.
Once again requesting evidence, a request Oates subsequently ignored. And that was it so far.
Fragment of thought.
direct interaction between myself and Rachel Oates.
Like, I don't understand. You had a complete opportunity there to do something productive and good for the trans community. You could have been not only an ally, but a great voice for change. You could have gotten money donated to people who might have needed HRT. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Like, you had all this opportunity and you just didn't. Instead, you were too busy trying to dog on Woodford. Fuck me. You could have done something so productive with your community, but you chose not to do that.
For the next few months. Not that I didn't comment on her actions indirectly, which brings us to the post in which Golas Cranium made a public call for key figures in the secular community to reaffirm the human rights of trans women so far as sports. Reminder that my very first video on the matter opened with me listing those rights as the right to equality and non-discrimination, the right to the highest attainable standard of physical and mental health, the right to sexual and reproductive health, the right to work and to the enjoyment of just and favourable conditions of work, the right to privacy, the right to freedom from torture and other cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment and harmful practices, and full respect for the dignity, bodily integrity and bodily autonomy of the person. Meaning everybody involved knew that this was a human rights issue. Yet rather than stand with the trans community in the absence of evidence justifying the removal of said rights, Rachel Oates refused, claiming that she didn't know enough.
The specificity of this conversation is being lost on you. I don't think you're being as specific as the conversation is needed. You're extrapolating it to something much larger.
This was in spite of the fact that she seemed to believe she knew enough. Every single
If I
time
cast Transmissy on Ethel, will she shut up? She has the passive wisdom, DC 21 wisdom saving throw. She has a -2 modifier on her whiz, though, so I don't think she's gonna pass.
she chose to declare Woodford as not being anti-trans on the very same topic. So I commented, pointing out how Oates' stance was indistinguishable from someone declaring that I support gay people, but until I've been provided evidence that they're not all sexual predators, I refuse to support their right to teach children. This stuck with me, meaning that when Woodford published his fake apology, in which he attacked his critics, I noted my exchange whilst explaining its many flaws.
Why do I feel like Ethel is more bigoted than, like, anybody I know? Like, I thought I was never PC enough, guys. I've always thought that I need to be, like, really PC. But, like, I actually feel like she is a bigot. Like, I feel like if I was walking down the street and Ethel was walking down the street, she would clutch her purse and walk to the other side of the street thinking I'm going to rob her. Like, that's the kind of person I feel like Ethel is. Okay?
I detailed how you don't need to understand a topic in its entirety to stand with a marginalized group's human rights, since
I recall Rationality saying in his video about Ethel that he believed Ethel found a vulnerable enough target in Rachel after she defended him, and to be honest, I think there's validity to it.
supporting said rights
Ethel feels pretty full of hate, yeah.
is the default. If you don't know, you always stand with said human rights. That is the only humane option. I also explained how, if Oates actually wanted to learn, I, and many other trans people, had already supplied the necessary information. She just needed to listen. Sadly,
You didn't. All you did, you had a snarky tweet.
she clearly had no intention of doing so, crying about how victimized she was as a cis woman.
Ethel lives in India, like, yeah.
Being asked not to defend her friend, whilst he incited legal violence against trans women, which is why I blocked Rachel Oates at the time. As far as I was concerned, she was not acting in good faith. She wasn't looking to better understand the trans community's pain.
You're not acting in good faith either. I mean, you know, before I pulled the fucking splinter out of my neighbor's eye, I pulled the log out of mine, right?
She was just looking for excuses to defend her
A
friend's
few more hours of this, you might feel compelled to rob her. No, I want her to give me 30%, okay?
violence. Rachel Oates did not like this, and, with the support of Thomas Westbrook, also known as Holy Kool-Aid, began demanding that I unblock her and platform her on my channel, which I refused. Oates' fans quickly seized upon demanding that I unblock her and platform her on my channel, which
To
I
have a discussion. We just entered the 8th hour of my current D&D session, checking tweets, not video during a 5-minute break. Oh my god. Listen, guys, I know I'm like a forever DM and I'm like a humongous nerd. But this is why I feel this overwhelming urge to put some people in lockers right now.
refused. Oates' fans quickly seized upon this and began painting me as an aggressive trans femme. in spite of my attempts to put distance between myself and Oates by blocking.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's been what, 5 years now and a bunch of fucking videos. Okay.
Even went so far as to state the following in response to said backlash, quote, Rachel Oates seems to be trying to position herself into the same poor white cis woman that Woodford did with Selena Soul.
Yeah, and you're doing the I'm a poor white trans woman bit, all right? Get in fucking line. I'm a poor brown man. Where's my reparations?
His original video. And this is all just one more way to distract from the actual issue here. Tries to remove the human rights of trans women and attempt to avoid accountability when such transphobic content is called out. That's why I'm maintaining the block. That's why I will continue to refuse to deal with Oates. End quote. Oates did eventually make her own video titled An In-Depth Response to Lies About Me, Essence of Thought is a Lying Bully, in which she doesn't show a single lie that I've apparently made. Again, if you don't believe me, go watch her video for yourself and timestamp a single point where she A, quotes me saying something, and B, proves said statement to be false. I'm not even asking you to demonstrate ill intent on my behalf, just that I was wrong. This is a challenge I issued back in 2022, and not a single person could do it, because it doesn't exist. Oh wait, you can't check, because Rachel Oates privated said video when I reissued this challenge in the previous video. Again, if it vindicated her, she'd be the one sending you there herself. Suffice to say, I saw no reason.
I don't like, the thing is that in the first like few seconds of this video, I already had a contradiction, right? So why is like, it's not that hard. I mean, I like, your obsession with Rachel Oates is beyond insane. Like, it just is. I would have moved on personally. You know, you didn't survive Rachel Oates. You had a beef with the creator and you just let it fester for years instead of doing anything about it. I think EOT should work retail or something. Well, here's, I wonder how, hold on. Excuse me. Hold on. So Ethel, prior to transitioning, went to India. And yeah, I don't think I can make it through the 3 hours of this. I gotta be frank with you, chat. Hold on. So Ethel went to India as a youngin'. And I can't help but feel that Ethel might come from bread. I don't know. Essence of Thought definitely. I don't know. They talk like they come from a position of privilege. You know what I mean? Fester for years, ironically, is what her tattoo translates to. It better not be. Yeah, we're only 6 minutes in. I know. Queer activist and blogger Peter Thurston. This is before their transition, by the way. All right. Moved to New Delhi from the United Kingdom last year to live with their partner, who had landed an internship in the company with a company in the capital. I was studying at the University of Surrey in Guildford when I met Udita, my partner. The vlogger runs a YouTube channel that consists of fully referenced video reviews and other online content touching upon subjects such as secularism, feminism, LGBT, ethnic equality. Let's see. The conservative Christians and the other gay men. As a bisexual, gender fluid person, I face hostilities not just outside, but also within the community. We're often told that we're confused and are gay or lesbian, but too afraid to fully come out. It can be quite invalidating. My family and friends know that I'm bisexual and gender fluid, but my partner and I do hide it from our landlord and some of our neighbors. We're not sure how they would react. The major problem I face in India is when I explain myself while going through the security check at the metro station in Delhi. As a gender fluid person, I try to maintain an androgynous appearance, not too masculine, not too feminine, rather neutral. Yeah, I mean, you know, yeah, looking for ethnic equality and living in India is kind of a little bit of a goofy thing to do, right? me most of the time, so she explains things at the checkpoint. Let's see. Secular ethics and atheism. Something about the atheist community just has really insufferable people, I gotta be honest. Like, I'm not a religious person, but, you know, man, like, fuck. Branched out. Okay, okay. Coming from the West, it was strange to see people in India standing for the national anthem in cinemas. I heard that people have been attacked or arrested if they don't stand for the national anthem. So even though I'm a British national, I stand for the Indian national anthem. Recently, I went to watch a Star Wars movie, and the movie hall was teeming with Westerners and European. But we all stood when the national anthem was being played to avoid a mishap. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you're moving into a place where you're being, like, you should really, I don't want to be that guy, but you should really be in a Western country. You should not be in India. As an atheist, I'm so sorry. Buy mana potion kufefe. That's true. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tusky. Very based of you. Holy shit. What an exhausting person. You do it out of respect, not because you, yeah, not because you might get arrested. Yeah. uh, uh, oh no, having respect for cultural norms after moving to another country because your partner got an internship? Clearly the most difficult struggle. I know, she's like that energy vampire from What We Do in the Shadows. She's sucking the life out of me. Uh, it's 2 hours. I'm ending this stream. I can't. This person is so fucking exhausting. Listen, Ethel, go be a fucking lich somewhere else, you fucking piece of shit asshole. FPS Diesel said trans rights and shit, but like not to be like annoying. Just don't be an asshole. Okay, don't be an asshole. Is that hard? And also, if you're trans, you don't get to be an asshole either. Okay, we all have to live with each other. So like, don't be a fucking pain in the ass. That's it. Fuck, dude. Stupid piece of shit. Fucking Ethel. Fuck you. Could get through the video last stream either. Hey, Galley Falcon fan, thank you, King. That was very based of you. Very awesome. And it says Starshine became a big dog as well. Damn, that's based. Oh, from the gifted. Very based, very based, very based. All right. We're gonna be starting a D&D stream soon if you guys are interested. I'll put out a post on his channel, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that way you can hear about it. It's gonna be a great time. Custom universe, whole bunch of stuff. Audience participation. It's gonna be great. So definitely come on by when we do that. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get out of here. Again, thank you for the gifted Cali Falcon fan. Very based. But yeah, that'll be happening soon. All right, goodbye, guys. Good night.